Hello everyone! So when learning a new language, it's natural to feel shy. This is especially the case when it comes to speaking. I think one of the main reasons for this is that we're afraid of making mistakes, especially in front of native speakers. This is very normal and very common, and I like to think of it as like a wall that blocks us while we're still a beginner, and we need to find a way to get either over it or around it somehow. This is completely normal and most people experience this, but while it is normal, it needs to be dealt with as soon as possible. So then you can start having fun with the language and start improving faster. I used to be like this and I still consider myself very shy, but now I feel like I'm able to talk to native speakers a lot more and actually practice the language that I'm learning. So for this video, I'm going to first share some things to hopefully help you change your mindset, and then I'll share some tips to overcome shyness. It's so easy to compare yourself to others and think you're not good enough. But this is really not fair on yourself. If you studied for 1 month and you're comparing yourself to someone who's only studied for a year, of course your level is going to be so much lower than theirs. Instead of comparing yourself to them, you should look at what they did to get to that level and use that to motivate yourself to do what they did as well. This is actually why you should keep a record of everything that you're studying. If you're going to compare yourself to someone, you should compare yourself to your past self. Look at your level 1 month ago, 2 months ago, and so on. Look how far you've come and strive to be even better in the future. And remember, no one starts studying a language and just is suddenly fluent. It takes years of studying and practicing. So don't judge yourself based on where you are now, but look at who you were before and look forward to who you will be in the future. It's so easy to think that native speakers could laugh at you for making one simple mistake or laugh at you for being a low level, but this couldn't be further from the truth. First, think about when you meet someone who's not a native speaker in your language. Would you laugh at them? However, it can be possible that native speakers could laugh at you. I have only experienced this in 2 situations. When the other person is shocked to hear a foreigner speaking their language. This is usually common with non-English languages because many people are not used to their language actually being studied by other people, because English is just learned by everyone. But when someone thinks, why would someone learn my language? A lot of people actually think that. So when they hear a foreigner speaking their language, they just get shocked by it and they don't know how to react. The other kind of person is just someone who's just not a very nice person, and this is the kind of person you don't really want to have as a language partner, so you'd probably just want to find someone else anyway. Usually when you're too shy to speak to people in the language you're learning, you're usually lacking in experience. However, the only way to get experience is to talk to people. So I would recommend to get a language partner. I would highly recommend to get a native speaking language partner, but if you are feeling way too shy, then you can try to find a partner who is native in your language but is very high level in the language that you're learning. I would recommend to find someone that you could be close with, so preferably someone with similar interests, maybe same gender or same major, same job, something that you have in common so that you can, you really have that middle ground. When you're close with someone, you'll be a lot more comfortable with them. You'll be able to trust them a lot more, and you won't be as affected if you receive criticism or corrections by them. And this can actually work both ways because you can help them with your native language as well. When you practice regularly with this one person that you feel very comfortable with, you'll be over time building up your confidence and your skill at the same time. And eventually you'll be able to speak to other people as well. So this one's kind of piggybacking off of the previous tip. So when you're practicing with your language partners, sometimes it can be a little scary to have freestyle conversation, especially when you're still a beginner. So one way you can work around this is to have a conversation with your partner first about what your level is and what you know. Then either show them or tell them what you know, what you've learned, what you're currently learning, what you want to practice, those kind of things. And then have conversation where you only focus on those things. This way you can make sure that you understand what your partner is talking about, and you'll also be able to contribute to the conversation as well. Even if you only know how to say hello and how to introduce yourself, then just spend 5 to 10 minutes greeting each other and introducing yourself to each other. As you learn more, you can slowly increase the amount that you're saying to them. If you want, you can also ask them questions to be able to improve your language level. For example, if you only know how to introduce yourself very basically, then you can ask them maybe how to introduce your hobbies, and then repeat that after them, and then introduce yourself again to them with your hobbies included, and then you will have increased the amount that you're able to say. Remember that whenever your partner teaches you something, always try your best to practice it right back to them right away. Also, never be afraid to tell your partner that you don't understand or you want them to speak slower or even to repeat. Most of the time, they won't mind at all. I'm intermediate in Korean myself, so with my Korean friends, we usually meet once a week and we set a topic throughout the week so we can prepare for our meeting. And once we meet, we'll kind of split the time into half, where we'll speak in one language, then we'll switch to the other, and we'll both get a chance to both talk and ask questions in each language. One thing that I find that really helps people to come out of their shell is the ability to hide their face. Voice chatting with someone online is a way that you can talk with someone in the language you're learning without actually showing your face. And hopefully over time you'll be able to show your face in the video, or you'll even be able to do it in person. For this one, you would bring a friend with you when you go to meet a native speaker or something like that. Typically, you'd bring a friend who's studying the same language as you. Not being alone can really help you to be more confident. This is also not for everyone, since some people prefer to do it one-on-one, so make sure that your language partner is okay with your friend coming along. You could even ask your language partner to bring a friend along as well if they wanted to. I experienced this once in Australia when my housemate was going to meet a Japanese friend. Her Japanese level was pretty much the same as mine, if not higher. But she had a lot less experience speaking to native speakers than I did, so she asked me to come along. Naturally, I did most of the talking, but it was like a stepping stone for her. After this experience, she was able to speak to native speakers a lot more easily. So this last one is probably the hardest for shy people, but I feel like it will give you the most visible results. You could make a video talking about anything you want, and of course it will be scary to post it online, but the hardest thing about this is posting your first video. Once you post it for the first time, you'll find that it gets easier and easier. Doing this will give you a record of your progress and improvement, and you may even get native speakers and other language learners commenting and interacting with your videos. I know this is probably the hardest one that I've mentioned, but I would highly recommend to at least try this. I actually made one video in Korean already, but I'm pretty ashamed of how I made that video. It was pretty rushed. So I've written a script for another Korean video that I'm going to record very soon, but this time I don't want to rush it. I'm hoping to start regularly making videos in Korean, maybe once a month or so. So those are my 5 tips for overcoming shyness while language learning. I based these on my experiences and I found them to be very helpful for me. I also hope you remember not to compare yourself to others or to assume others are judging you. Be confident in yourself and work hard to improve yourself. Always look to where you've come from and look forward to where you are going. And once again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye. Of talking online.